against this right back, Charlie's definitely.
I think it's like
people deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on. Thank you very much for that, Ian. Right, as the big man just said, people deluded, I'm back again. Hope you're all doing well and safe. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. Obviously, Arsenal versus Oxford. Oxford versus Arsenal isn't until Monday. Hope you're enjoying your weekend, people, off the back of a great week and a great start to 2023. As I just alluded to, you know, Arsenal will play in the FA Cup against Oxford on Monday. Where the transfer market's concerned, Arsenal fans, that's all we've got to really entertain us. Again, throughout the course of this video, make sure you're commenting in the live chat or commenting in the comment section after this, people, or whenever you feel like it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe across all the platforms as well as YouTube, people. Keep boosting the algorithm and keep building our platform. Now, where's the share item? I said item share button. Let's see what's being said, people. Now, again, the Joao Felixes, the Mudryks, actually, Danilo's been relinked with us. The dream is free. The hustle is sold separately, people. If nothing more, this just provides talking points. Arsenal submit Joao Felix request with George Mendes after opening loan transfer talks. That isn't something we've not necessarily not known or saw in several news outlets. Arsenal are working on a deal for Atletico Madrid attacker Joao Felix, in addition to Shakhtar Donetsk winger Mudryk this January. Now, whether that happens or both happen or one of the two is still early in the market. There's still a lot of moving parts. But if that's the two key details from this report and in general for Arsenal, then I'm sure a lot of us would prefer that. I don't know where you lot are at, if Mudryk is more tricky because Shakhtar are playing hardball in Chelsea and now getting involved allegedly, or the Joao Felix. Ultimately, with Joao Felix, it probably more comes down to money. They're saying everything from 17 to 21 million quid for a loan, which for 4 months with no buy option, it could help you succeed in whatever your club is destined to do this season or aspiring to do, but no permanent option. You're just making him a more attractive player for Atletico to play or sell, or maybe even join a London rival or Premier League rival. Arsenal in talks over a loan deal for Joao Felix, but won't agree to the current package demand set by stubborn Atletico chiefs. Again, that isn't something we haven't known. The Gunners still consider Mudryk to be their top January target, but newly appointed sporting director Edu, newly appointed title, and Mikel Arteta are also going after Felix in an audacious swoop that would significantly bolster the club's attacking options for the second half of the campaign. That's true. You know, Martinelli and Saka have been ever present and ever fit. You know, again, Saka's had minor injuries. Touch wood, that's all it remains to be. And obviously, where Martinelli's concerned, he has previously in his Arsenal career had a significant one. You know, Smith Rowe for the first 6 months of the season hasn't been given an easy task of staying fit. So from a sporting perspective, in terms of injuries, and things like that, we need more players. Again, when you look at a game like Newcastle, there wasn't really a strong bench of attackers to draw from to help us break down the low block. And the FA Cup, the Europa League are now going to start coming into play. Arsenal are going to get to a point where we're playing 3 massive games almost every day. And with a young, volatile squad, you know, average age early to mid-20s, who are trying to establish consistency and have exceeded expectations in the first half of this season, we need to make sure we can keep that going, people, because to achieve whatever you're trying to achieve in terms of a sport, whether you're trying to win the league, qualify for the Champions or Europa League, get promoted or stay in the division, it's not always about how good you are at your best, in which Arsenal have done. It's how you are at your worst. And there has been elements, obviously, we wasn't at the best in the sporting front against Newcastle. We still picked up a point, you know, against West Ham, Fulham and Aston Villa. The games haven't necessarily gone our way and we've got over the line. Leicester at home, even though we was good in an attacking sense. And for me, Leeds away would also, for different reasons, fall under that remit. But back to this, Atletico are currently demanding a substantial loan fee for Felix, thought to be in worth of the region of 30 million. And this is without considering the players' 250k a week wages. So it's like shopping in Harrods and them sort of shops there. The finances involved in any potential deal are currently considered excessive by Arsenal and probably everyone else, who have asked super agent George Mendes to work on lowering the price. And we're going to have to see this one tick over, really. Where Mudryk and Felix are concerned, just to us fans, it seems like it was still very early, people. You know, maybe not so much in relation to the media. I don't think either move appears imminent, and there's still a lot of poker being played, you know, in the boardrooms. Mendes has been in Madrid holding face-to-face discussions with Atletico over the future of his client to determine whether the La Liga giants will soften their stance this month. Man United are also in the frame and would like to sign Felix on loan this January after offloading his teammate Cristiano Ronaldo. I think they've actually agreed. I don't know if it's actually Weghorst, people, but if you go on Twitter and just the Man United outlets, people, apparently they're close to swooping in on the loan transfer as a striker. A less glamorous name than Felix or anyone they've been linked with. Felix wants a new challenge this month following the the bust up in short with his manager Diego Simeone. We've kind of known that. Atletico are still open to keeping Felix if their asking price isn't matched, while Simeone would prefer to offload his forward so that he can bring another forward in the January transfer window, people. So we're going to have to see how this develops. And again, depending on how you interpret that is what it is. Apparently, the Gunners are beginning to lose patience with Shakhtar as they continue to encourage an auction for star man Mudryk, which Arsenal are not willing to entertain. As we know, Chelsea would like assurances the 22-year-old winger wants to join the club before formalising their interest. Mudryk has continued to flirt with a move to Arsenal by liking a series of Gunners-related social media posts, including one that read Free Mudryk. And again, people, you know, the director of football, Sane, was at the 1-0 defeat by Manchester City. Chelsea lost that game a goal to nil. There could be, you know, it could be a bit of game playing, you know, Shakhtar are seen in the public with the enemy, if in Arsenal's case. So there's a lot of poker being played, people. We have to see exactly what's being said. Apparently, he's believed to have held talks with Todd Burhi over a deal for Mudryk, people. Arsenal are likely to block any potential departures this month, as Arteta already considers his title-chasing squad to be thin in terms of numbers. As you know, in terms of outgoings, apart from potential loans, the only significant departure at this moment in time has probably been Cedric Suarez to Fulham, Villarreal, or Bayern Leverkusen, depending on where you read, people. Once again, Arsenal are open to signing both Mudryk and Felix this month, but the Gunners face tricky talks over both deals. And Edu's just going to have to prove his mettle, really and truly, and prove that he can get over the line, really. You know, as Arteta said, these sort of questions in relation to Arteta, we're going to go over his press conference, or a vital thing he said in just a second, people. Going to just have to do what we can. And crucially for me, go after Mudryk and Felix as much as you want. Make sure we've got some backup options, really and truly, because that tells me indirectly that we're looking for two attackers. Maybe Mudryk was the one we're following on from the summer, and Joao Felix is an opportunity that presents itself allegedly away from the dealings that need to be done, an offer or an opportunity, better yet, too far to turn down. Again, both are going to come down to money, really and truly, essentially. But who knows? We might end up with both. We might end up with one. We might end up with neither. And we need to be able to move and react in all directions, because essentially January is a reactive market. There's injuries. Your club might need to sign some players to cope with that. They might need an extra boost. Players want to leave via lack of game time, either on loan or permanent. You've obviously got contracts running down. So January is a reactive market. In an ideal world, not a single club would buy anyone in January, because you'd have more than enough, really and truly. Again, this article is kind of following on with Joao Felix, people, primarily out of Italy. He will leave Atletico. There are no few doubts about this. As we know, the relationship has broken up with Simeone. Possibly in the Premier League, Arsenal, as it is known, stay ahead. He has established a direct channel with the player. Google Translate, I think that means the club has. And with the Spanish, for this reason, in Atletico's case, there could already be a decisive acceleration in the next few hours. The conditions established, after all, they are known to be all the interested clubs. It is a costly loan of around 18 million euros with a redemption obligation set at the end of the season. That would be good. Apparently, Arteta is described as confident of signing Joao Felix, but aware of competition from Man United. That's just in recent days. He has tested the ground to understand the margins of the deal. So the conditions, in short, the next few days will be decisive for knowing the future of one of the highest paid strikers in the history of football. It's not just up to Joao Felix. Apparently, Arsenal does not stop at Felix. On the contrary, right now, they are battling with Chelsea to win Mudryk. The Gunners, as we know, arrive first and have the total yes of the Ukrainian talent. But the Blues at the moment are unpredictable and increasingly unleashed on the transfer market. In recent days, both Burhi's club and Arsenal met with Shakhtar executives in London. Soon, therefore, the final decision on either negotiation involving the Premier League clubs. So that, read into that what you will, people. We've seen that. Minimal agent on Arsenal's chances of signing players, suggests club want to capitalize on past failed transfers. Arsenal have not yet managed to convince Shakhtar Donetsk to sanction the sale of Mudryk, as we've known, according to this report and a report out of Italy focused on a Ukrainian agent. He has said minimal. Shakhtar won't let Mudryk go for the money they are currently offering. 100 million is an inadequate price. A player from the Ukrainian Championship cannot cost more than, for example, a player from Netherlands. You have to look at things realistically. There's a market value, and Shakhtar seem to be taking figures from the ceiling. The guy is in the golden cage. I know for sure that in the summer, Brentford offered good money for Mudryk, but the next team refused. It seems as if they want to reflect on their talent, everything that they lost in past failed transfers. Mudryk is a Shakhtar player, and at the decision of his transfer will be made by the management of Shakhtar Donetsk. Mikhail is preparing to go to the camp with Shakhtar. Trust only official information. So we'll have to see how this Mudryk saga develops. Arsenal have once again been warned they have a minimal chance of signing him, people. We know he's made no secret. Personal terms aren't going to be an issue, and the rest of that jazz, people, it's all getting long. While Arsenal are still believed to be the Ukrainian international's preferred destination, I think this is the same sort of comments we've gone after, people. So yeah, Arsenal hold talks with Atletico Madrid over a move for Joao Felix, with Mikel Arteta's side aiming to negotiate a lower loan fee. So there might be something more into this than the other articles. People scrolling all the way down. Once again, the North London side are interested in taking Felix on loan, but the Spanish club have asked for 30 million plus additional fees, bringing the deal to around 16 million for the remainder of the season. So again, it comes down to the cash, people. He signed for 120 million. He's not going to come cheap. They're going to want to somewhat offset their potential losses. And we've seen this already. Is this the same thing? I don't miss a beat, people, really. So, yeah, just further confirmation of Arsenal's interest in such. Fabrizio Romano said, no big changes on Mudryk deal in the last 48 hours. Chelsea met with Shakhtar, but Arsenal remain in direct talks. Also, yesterday, Shakhtar told again they want 100 million euros. Mudryk priority remains Arsenal. This has always been clear. Chelsea will try until the end, people. And as you can see here, people will have to see. Arsenal are actively working on a loan deal, says Ryan Taylor, for Joao Felix, but won't agree to the current package demands. Talks ongoing with both Mendes and Atletico to lower the price. Portugal international is set to return for Atletico this weekend, better yet, versus Barcelona, and could yet stay put this Jan. I'm pretty sure that game's tomorrow, which would be Sunday, people. And if you're in the UK, I think ITV are showing that for free. If you want Joao Felix news, that's one thing. If he was hopeful for Benassia, that's another. Contracted until 2024 and has been linked with Arsenal and Liverpool primarily. Allegedly, AC Milan have reached an agreement to extend his contract until June of 2027, and he'll sign in the next few days. Apparently, the new release clause will be 50 million. Will include 50 million euros as the old one. So crucially, you could still do it. Really, it just means that they're in a tougher position in that, if you if you activate his release clause, you activate his release clause, but the guy doesn't walk, or like this time next year, he doesn't agree a move for free. So yeah, man, really, that's the crucial bit. Again, we've spoken about Mudryk so many times. He's been in so many thumbnails. Again, this is behind the paywall, but Hugo Viana apparently went to London and met up with his friend Edu. Apparently he's an agent or something like that. He's sporting director, people. So maybe he met up with Edu, who is a friend. Hopefully they talked about business as well, and Sporting have a few players, man. The next, Matthias Nunes or something will do us kindly, people, because Wolves have done well. Again, when you look at Marcus Thuram, his contract is running down, and apparently, people, he wants a Premier League move. Allegedly, he's drawing interest from Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, Newcastle, Aston Villa as well, people. Romano said, the Premier League is a priority for Marcus Thuram for sure. Inter Milan are interested, but I'm told it's too early to decide. Thuram will take his time because being a free agent in June means it's a big opportunity for him, and it can change at any time, people. So we'll have to see, and apparently it could be available for 9 million. If you talk about another Frenchman playing in the Bundesliga, Arsenal are one of 3 outfits talking to Ivan Ndika's agent over a potential move. Ivan Ndika has an offer from Frankfurt, a 3-year extension specifically. I think there's a good chance that he'll sign his contract, but there are many clubs interested in him at the moment. One of them is Arsenal. It is not so concrete that Frankfurt are really afraid of losing him. They also know what his qualities are at the moment, so perhaps it's too much of a big step for him at this point. They hope they'll sign him up on another contract. Arsenal, Tottenham, and AC Milan, I think they're all talking to the agent, but it's not massively concrete at the moment, as Gladbach are confident about their chances of extending. Gladbach? think that means Eintracht Frankfurt, but it is what it is in that regards, people. Again, I'm not too sure what to read into this, but apparently a financial expert said Arsenal's finances are erratic. I can't speak today. Erratic and volatile, people. I want to see specifically what it said. The nature of football is that the money coming in tends to be quite erratic and volatile. Season ticket sales are concentrated around April and May. The biggest payments from broadcasters come in the summer months. Sponsors will probably pay a couple of times per year. The outgoings tend to be more level. Your biggest cost is going to be wages. Your monthly payroll has to be dealt with on a month-by-month basis, like any job. With this in mind, Arsenal are renewing their credit facility. This is very much an overdraft style of deal. It makes a lot of sense. They only have to use it as and when necessary. In the other months, when the club is cash rich, they don't have the burden of a loan at the same time as having to cash in on the bank. This is not a war chest for transfers, as many fans believe, but is a logical arrangement for any business that operates in a volatile cash flow industry. Fair enough. The headline wasn't quite as good as, well, the facts weren't quite as good as the headline. If you look at reports coming out of Brazil, people, Arsenal, Atletico Madrid and Monaco are all in for Danilo from Palmeiras, who 1 minute was going for in January, then we've moved away. I'm not too sure as to why. Palmeiras is preparing to sell Danilo in the football market. The club has not yet decided on the departure of the midfielder, but knows that there are at least three interested clubs in taking him: Arsenal, Atletico Madrid, as stated, and Monaco, people. Of the three, one has already sent a proposal. The name of the club, however, is kept confidential. The board evaluates the possibility of negotiating him in the current transfer window and studies the numbers that are offered. That's fair enough. The three clubs have been monitoring Danilo for some time now, a fact that's become known even to Palmeiras itself, people. And apparently, I saw another article that I don't have to hand, that Barcelona Barcelona trying to buy him and palm him off to another Spanish club, people. It name drops Milan there as well, so I'm not too sure on the credibility of that. When you look at, I mean, you can read Mikel Arteta's press conference, but he was directly asked on transfers to end this, people. Valuations have to be made between the selling club and the buying club, and it is difficult, but it shows there are a lot of clubs with a lot of financial power to spend big amounts, and we have to compete with them. To be smart, we have to see good opportunities and we have to be attractive for players. At the end of the day, players decide where they want to play. And if they want to play for our club, that is great. So is that an indirect to Mudryk? I don't know, people, in the war between his current club and his potential new club. But where the transfer window is concerned, people, you know I'll be reactive to bringing out videos for you lot as and when. Please smash the like button, comment your own opinions, turn on your notifications. I'll be watching Liverpool against Wolves in the FA Cup, so join me on that watch along. Stay blessed, stay safe. I'm out.
There's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like